So students, let's start with a new topic, that is elastic collision in one dimension. Right now we have discussed the collision and its types. So what do you mean by the elastic collision? A type of physical contact or physical strike of the two bodies when there is no change in the energy and momentum takes place due to the nature of conservative force. Then such type of the collision is said to be the conservative, or such type of the collision is said to be the elastic collision. So here I have drawn certain figures. So then first figure, let us suppose that we are having the two bodies. So I am writing first. Let us suppose that two bodies A and B having masses m1 and m2 respectively. m1 and m2 are the masses of the two bodies which are taken as A and B. If u1 and u2 are the initial velocities before collision, and v1 and v2 are the final velocities after collision of two bodies A and B respectively. Students, here with the help of the diagram we are going to discuss what I have said. That let us suppose that the two bodies A and B, the body A is having mass m1 and the body B is having mass m2. Initially before collision it is having the mass as m1 and m2 and having the initial velocity as u1 and u2. When they are come into the physical contact as a strike, so masses will remain unchanged. And now here during the collision, if the force is conservative in nature, then its final velocity becomes v1 and v2. So as we are knowing that everything I have written here, so according to what conservative forces, momentum and energy will be conserved or conserved. So with the application of law of conservation of momentum, because here the momentum takes place in the body, so apply law of conservation of momentum. What do you mean by law of conservation of momentum? Law of conservation of momentum states that momentum before collision and momentum after collision remains unchanged, or we can also state that momentum of the two bodies remain unchanged, or a momentum of the two bodies is conserved before and after the collision. Means there will be no change brought in the momentum after and before of the collision. So with the help of that, what we can write, that momentum before collision, so the first body, and as we are knowing that the momentum is the product of mass to the velocity. Here the velocity initially of the particle A is u1, so m1 un plus m2 u2, that is the initial momentum of the object A and B. m1 plus m2 u2, it should be equals to the momentum of, and as we are knowing that the initial velocities are the vector quantity, so m1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1, where v1 is final velocity and v2 is also the final velocity of the object B. So here m1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Since all the velocities are in the same direction, since all the velocities are in the same direction, since all the velocities are in same direction, then what we can conclude that here, if we take like m1 towards each side, m1 un minus m1 v1 is equals to m2 v2 minus m2 u2. Students, in this way we can write here like that, m1, from here we will take in the m1 as a constant or a common, so m1 here u1 minus v1 is equals to m2 v2 minus u2. Okay students, so this is the momentum of the object during the collision. Now we are, if the two bodies are getting collide, so what will be the change carried out in their kinetic energy? Since the collision is elastic, so there will be no change in the kinetic energy. So here I am writing, since collision is elastic, then kinetic energy will also be conserved. Okay students, so it will be also conserved. So in this condition we can write that half m1, initially velocity was u1, so half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square will be equals to, finally what will be its kinetic energy, half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square, From this whole, if we take in half as a common and cancel out, so it will be half will be cancel out, so m1, and again put v1 to this side, then u1 square minus v1 square is equals to m2 v2 square minus v1 square. Let us suppose u2 square, here u1 square minus v1 square and v2 square minus u2 square. So let us suppose that this is the equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. So now what we are going to do, so from equation 1 and 2 what we can conclude, so divide equation. So here I am writing dividing equation 2 by equation 1, dividing equation 2 which we have obtained by equation 1. So why we are going to do, because u1 square minus v1 square upon here division of equation second with equation 1, u1 minus v1 is equals to v2 square minus u2 square upon v2 minus u2. Students, as we are knowing that a square minus b square is equals to a plus b and a minus b, so from here we can write that it is in the form of a square minus b square, so it can be also written as u1 plus v1 into u1 minus v1 upon u1 minus v1. Okay, and from this v2 plus u2 into v2 minus of u2 upon v2 minus u2. So from this we can see here u1 minus v1 and v2 minus u2 becomes cancel out. So what we will get as u1 plus v1 is equals to v2 plus u2. Okay students, So from this we can write here as u1 minus u2 is equals to v2 minus v1. In this way means u1 minus u2, what this signifies, u1 minus u2 is the relative velocity of the two bodies A and B. Okay, whereas v2 minus v1 is the relative velocity of the two bodies when both bodies are approaching to each other after collision. So u1 and u2 is the where here I am giving you the glance where u1 minus u2 indicates relative velocity of two bodies A and B before collision, and v2 minus v1. So where v2 minus v1 is the what v2 minus v1 indicates, v2 minus v1 indicates relative velocity of the two bodies A and B after collision. Okay students, so here what we have concluded that here we are getting that relative velocity before collision is equals to the relative velocity after the collision. It means that there is no changes carried out during this collision. So we can also conclude further like this. From here, if we are willing to calculate the final velocity of the second body, that is v2 is equals to u1 minus u2, that is the initial velocities before the collision plus final velocity after collision of the first body. So if we are willing to put this value v2 in equation number 1, what is the equation number 1? So this is equation number, already we have learned the equation number 1. So what we are going to do, putting this is, let us suppose that this is equation 3, putting the value of v2 from equation 3rd to equation 1. Okay students, so we can easily write that, what we can write that the m1 u1 minus v1 is equals to m2, here v2 is equals to now u1 plus v1 minus of 2 u2. We have putted the value of v2 here. Okay students, so in this way we can easily write that minus v1 m1 plus m2. You can see here m1 v1 and m2 v1. So if we collect these all m1 together like this, v1, so here minus sign of v1 into m1 plus m2 is equals to u1 m2 minus of m1 minus 2 m2 u2. Okay students, so in this condition, from this we can observe that v1 is equals to m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u2. Okay, so students, we have calculated the final velocity of the body A possessed after the collision. So v1 becomes m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u2. So in the similar fashion we can calculate v2, means that the final velocity of the body after collision. So student, in order to calculate the value of the final velocity, we must have to know the masses of the two bodies which are going to be interact with each other, as well as we have to know the initial velocities of the body. Okay student, so there are some special cases which are given inside of your book when v1 becomes v2 and u1 becomes u2. Okay students, so what are those special cases which are given inside of your book for understanding the motion elastic collision in a one dimensional plane? Is that special cases. First, the first case is that when v1 becomes v2 means velocity after collisions of the both bodies become same and initial velocities also become same, u1 becomes u2. In this condition we can write as, we can say that if u1 becomes u2 and v1 becomes v2, then in this condition students, what we can conclude, if the masses of the colliding bodies are equal, means m1 and m2 becomes equal. If here the special case is, first one is that collision in one dimension is that if the masses of both the colliding particles becomes equal, if the mass of the first body given by m1 becomes equal to the mass of the second body, let us suppose that say m. Okay, if masses of both the body which are going to be collide is equal, then we can from equation 4 and 5 we can say that its final velocity v1 becomes u2 and its initial velocity like that v2 becomes u1. So this is the first condition. It means that one dimensional elastic collision of the two bodies are equal masses nearly exchange in their velocities after collision. It means that from this observation we can conclude that after collision, if the two bodies are having the masses m1 and m2 are both are same, then in this condition we can conclude that after collision they will change their velocities as finally when they are colliding. And secondly, if a target is initially at rest, let us suppose that if one body is initially at rest, so what is the second condition? If one body is at rest, let us suppose that if one body which is at rest, then in this condition we can calculate that v1 is equals to m1 minus m2. From this equation, m1 minus of m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 because the second body is in the rest, so it will be 0. So in this manner we can calculate the velocity after collision. So students, inside of your book some various more discussions have given for the elastic collision already we have learned, and one more collision like the inelastic collision in one dimension is given to you. Please go through your book. If still you are having any doubt, you may consult to me. Have a nice day.